magbenta online pero namamahalan at nahihirapan gumawa ng sariling online store? Paano kung sabihin ko sa'yo na pwede ka na magbenta online kahit hindi ka techie? May mura at hindi masakit sa bulsa na paraan para makapagsimula ka sa sarili mong online store. Tumatanggap rin ito ng credit cards and cash on delivery para sa mga orders. Nakakonekto sa mga kilalang delivery providers sa Pilipinas. At higit sa lahat, wala ka nang kailangang bayaran ng interest at commission sa bawat benta. San ka pa? Gusto mo yon? Gusto ko yan!
Paano mo nasabi?
Lahat yan magagawa ng online store builder ng Prosperna.
Sige, masubukan nga. Paano ba simulan?
Ang gagawin nyo lang ay mag-set up ng account, mag-upload ng logo, at maglagay ng mga products. In just one click, konektado na agad ang mga payment at delivery partners nyo. Pwedeng-pwede na kayo sa e-commerce sa halagang abot kaya.
Ganun ba?
Ganun talaga! Kaya book ka na ng free demo at simulan na ang online negosyo para dumami pa ang benta. Lahat ng yan bigay sa'yo ng numero 1 online store builder ng Pilipinas. Mag-prosper na sa Prosperna!
Good afternoon, Prosper Nation. This is Justin, and you're once again tuning in to another episode of Digital Happy Hour, where we discuss the latest digital trends, news, and tips to help your business online. And for today, we are going to talk about the 5 things that MSMEs are doing wrong and how to fix it. And joining us now would be Dennis and Fro from the Prosperna team. And with the combined experiences of these two, I know that they'll be able to help us today. Hi, Dennis. Hi, Fro.
Hi, Justine. Hey, Dennis. What's up, bro?
How are you guys doing?
Doing great.
Good. Bro, Fro, what's up, my man?
All good. I'm glad to be part of the Happy Hour.
Great to see you back at Happy Hour as well, both of you guys. So good stuff. And hey, Prosper Nation, I love the buildup of our, the beat when it comes to 5:30 here on a Wednesday, the middle of the week. So glad to be here.
Good afternoon, Prosper Nation.
Yeah. So here we are, about just a couple weeks away from the halfway point of the year. Can you believe that?
It's true. I can't believe it.
Time goes fast.
It's too crazy. It's like we literally just woke up and figured out what was happening in the last 12 months.
Right.
And now it's
especially it's like holidays and weekends and work days are all a blur. And sometimes I don't even know it's a holiday tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God, it is?
Yes.
No.
We scheduled meetings tomorrow.
You'll miss us, Dennis.
My calendar looks very mysterious. While I have some meetings, yet it's just not as crazily booked. But anyway, a little bit of time off is good for the heart and soul, especially for the Prosper Nation and our country of MSMEs out there. So, Fro, dude, you've got some great experience in helping MSMEs here in the Philippines. Before we start talking about Prosperna and some of the lessons learned and all that fun stuff, I'd love for you to share just, your background and how long you've been kind of in the space of working with SMEs, and then maybe a little bit about, what you think about SMEs, I don't know, here in the Philippines compared to other places.
Sure, I'd love to. Well, again, good afternoon, Prosper Nation. My name is Fro. What's up? I would like to say I've been in the MSME space for 20 plus years already. I've
Holy
had,
cow! Booyah!
yeah, Tito.
Titos of Manila.
Hey man, well you look good for your age, buddy.
Thank you. I think everybody in this web show looks good. Yeah, so I've been in the space for almost 20 plus years. I've had two corporate jobs. One was with Citibank, where I also dealt with a lot of entrepreneurs. And the nice thing about Citibank is I actually learned a lot from my clients, from retailers, big names in business. And it's not just the banking stuff, right? And my second corporate job was with PLDT, where I was with the SME market, and I was dealing with most of the top business associations in the country, from the Philippine Chamber of Commerce, the Philippine Franchising Association, Philippine Retailing Association, the JCs. I met a lot of amazing people, and I actually learned a lot from them as well. And as an
That's great.
entrepreneur,
Hold on, before you go on, you said one word a couple times that is super important to the Prosper Nation culture, and that's the word learning.
absolutely.
We've got to be on a constant journey of learning, and it seems like that was a big part of your journey. Now, wait, give us a quick update. What's the Citibank update and highlight? I know you still bleed a little bit of Citibank heart. What happened there recently?
So Citibank has a new CEO, and basically what he did was I would like to say, rolled the die and pulled the trigger in what the news said, suspending the retail business of several countries, the Philippines, Vietnam, I think India was one of them. But saying that Citibank is still operational, they're going to focus on wealth management. There's still a lot of transition involved. Actually, one of my best friends is currently a director in Citibank right now. So, he gave me a little bit of a 411. Suffice to say, Citibank will still operate in the Philippines on the wealth management perspective. But as for the cards and all of that, we have to wait and see on how it's going to go.
So basically, even a large, massive global conglomerate like Citibank has made a probably extremely difficult decision, one that would change the face of their entire business, at least here in the Philippines and many other parts of Southeast Asia, to pull out of traditional retail banking.
Absolutely. And these are situations that happen, actually, I wouldn't say often, but it happens from time to time, especially if there's an economic turndown. The last one was actually the subprime scandal or challenge that the US had, which actually affected most of the world.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think that number one does show how important it is for companies, no matter what size, to make difficult and strong decisions.
Absolutely.
But I think it's another milestone that industries, I imagine, they're going to be upping their game on the digital front.
Oh,
Right?
absolutely.
'Cause you can't just close one channel and not do more of something else,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I know for a fact that Citibank is actually going to do a big digital push locally and internationally.
Interesting. Well, that'll be very, very cool to see, because I think, certainly the banking industry could use a lot of help when it comes to digital transformation. So maybe you can update on that, since you got a lot of insiders in the future. So
Sure.
what about the you were gonna say a little bit more about your journey after the PLDT.
Yeah. So I'd like to say that I'm an entrepreneur at heart. So I've actually I think my first business that I went into was a wine distribution company that I had with my buddy, and we ran that for about 4 years until we sold it. And it was a great experience as well because we our principal Freixenet, which is the biggest cava company in Spain. We pretty much got their portfolio and distributed it here in the Philippines. And the fun thing about it was we knew who were the big players here in the country. You have Ralph, you have Tita Trillo, right? Then Wine Depot actually started almost the same time. So we had to think of a different approach on how to sell and distribute our wines. And suffice to say, we did it from a lifestyle perspective. We tied up with a lot of fashion designers. We sponsored a lot of fashion shows and events. And we did
You're
actually
such a
pretty
cool
good.
hip guy, man.
Huh?
I said you're such a
Sorry?
cool hip guy.
No, I just like meeting people and talking to them.
No,
Yeah,
that's
and that actually got me a big insight into the whole F&B business, as well as importation and distribution. So yeah,
actually
and then yeah, go ahead.
I can imagine. I'm not sure, but I'm sure the wine, food, and beverage business is an easy industry for a lot of people to be attracted to. So it sounds like you guys had a lot of fun there too. I'm sure.
Absolutely. I gained like the first 6 months of into the business. I gained like 30 pounds. Then I lost it again.
Wow.
Then after that, I set up a bar restaurant with my friends called Bugsies. And then 6 months in, I also gained 30 pounds, and then I lost it again.
The famous Bugsies.
Yeah,
I love
we had
that
a
place.
good run. So for everybody here who has been to Bugsies, thank you very much. We appreciate your support. And I know you missed the chicken fingers, the chicken tenders, which is one of our more famous products. And hopefully we plan to put it out back in the market soon.
Yeah, yeah. Well, put those chicken fingers online, man. I think
Yeah.
I love eating chicken food products. If there's one thing that I think would be an awesome niche, would be those some kind of spin off of the Chick-fil-A chicken burgers or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Nobody's really done that here.
Were you a big chicken guy back when you were in Texas?
Oh yeah. Although, we were like king of steaks, right? But
Oh yeah,
sure,
absolutely.
for sure. I mean, if it was chicken fried chicken, hell yeah, breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yeah. I remember when I was living in New York, I always frequented this place called 1849, where every Sunday, football Sunday, they'll have their chicken wings for like 25 cents a piece. And then they have Rolling Rock beer for like $2. And then you just watch the game. I loved it. That's a
Yeah,
great deal.
telling my Lolo, he was telling me how much things used to cost back in the old day. That's great.
Oh, yeah.
Justin. So,
Yes.
how is your small business going? The
Just in
women's
fitness.
active sportswear.
It's actually going well. I've had a lot of orders this past week actually. That's why I was after work, like I'm kind of busy packing and everything like that. And I'm actually preparing now because next month is like the first year anniversary of my business. Like it's
Oh,
1 year already.
congrats!
Yeah,
Cheers!
Congratulations.
so I'm planning to do like a sort of mystery box because this is kind of famous with a lot of health makeup products wherein you just tell them what kind of um the inside you just tell them what kind of products you want. For example, you want makeup for example, you want concealer, you want lipsticks, you want foundation, and then they'll be the one to send you which one, but you won't know what.
Yeah.
And also I was planning, I've been working on it since March. Like I'm planning to launch a line that's designed by me. So I've designed it since March, and hopefully I can already roll out it by my first anniversary.
Nice. Hey, Justine, your lines are more for like athletic wear, right?
What do you mean like cosmetic wear?
Do you,
No,
do you
athletic
have
wear.
anything? Do you have
Ah,
anything that will fit Fro?
Like a triple
not
XL?
yet,
Triple
but
XL?
you're a fit you're a fit guy.
No,
But not yet.
no, I would like to say that I think you're in a good industry because there has been a
Yeah.
boom in the sports
Mm.
and health industry the past 5, 8, 10 years,
True.
and they actually have a term for it right now. It's called athleisure wear, right?
Yeah. Active wear.
Active wear,
Before it's
athleisure
just
wear.
workout wear, now people are calling it active wear. And
Yeah,
they're kind of doing it where people can also use it as casual wear.
absolutely. Like my sister who lives in Connecticut, she she goes like, "Hey, Kuya, can you buy me some Lululemons? Because everybody I see when I
Mm.
go out are wearing Lululemons."
Mm.
And you see all
Everybody's
these,
into that.
yeah, everybody you see going out, Starbucks, mall,
Don't tell
wherever.
her to
It's
buy
like,
Lululemons. Buy from
but that was in Connecticut.
Justine's.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Tell her to
true.
buy
absolutely.
from Justine's. Tell her to
I'm gonna
support Pinay.
I'm gonna get my
True.
sister's sizes, and I'm gonna order for her and then ship it to to Connecticut.
True. So
There,
just fitness
Justin,
goes to US.
you might be famous soon, Justin. Once Fro's sister starts wearing it.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. Actually, I agree with the athletic sports casual wear.
Mm.
Uh, I looked online the other day because it's gotten so freaking hot here in the Philippines in the last 2 weeks, right? Oh, by the way, before I get into my story, did you guys feel the earthquake today?
Oh yeah, yeah. Did you, Fro?
I thought I was hungover.
You're so
From the
busy
wine
from last
scene.
night.
No,
Yeah,
no,
no,
I
there
actually
was,
didn't feel it. I was
I think
walking.
I think it was around lunchtime or so, but yeah, there was a
Mm.
earthquake. So hopefully everybody out there in the Prosper Nation is
Mm.
safe. I'm not sure where the earthquake was, but my laptop and my desk was shaking, and all of a sudden I started getting dizzy,
Yeah.
and I wasn't drinking anything at that time, so I thought for sure it was a earthquake.
Yeah,
But yeah, so I was trying to, because it was getting so hot, and I was like, gosh, I haven't gone shopping for any kind of apparel in so long, right? Because, why do you really need to buy clothes, right? We've been at
Yeah.
home for 15 months, and I
Mm.
guarantee you, everybody watching, their wardrobes have freaking changed, right?
It's
You
true.
only wear a pair of jeans like once every 2 months now, right? And
Yeah.
so
if
anyway,
you
I
can
was
fit
looking
them.
for, if you can fit in them, right? So I was looking for some, kind of sports athletic wear, and I said, you know what? I wasn't sure that I didn't really want to buy an off-brand or an unknown brand because when you're ordering online, you're not sure if their fitment is the same as your fitment,
Correct.
right? And so I couldn't find anybody on Facebook or Carousel and their brand because I was looking for kind of a men's version of what Justin is doing, because I'm happy to support and contribute. So I don't know if anybody out there watching knows of a men's kind of
Men's.
local, consistent, well done, active wear is. So
Active wear. Yeah.
long story short, I ended up buying Under Armour, and Under Armour, as a premium brand, is a bit more on the high end on pricing.
True.
So first I went after Facebook to Lazada, and their collections were very, very limited. So I kind of feel like you get a lot of, some of the stuff that's not so popular on Lazada from the premium brands, right?
Yeah.
Even though they had a Under Armour Lazada official store, it had less than 10 different items on there, right? So I'm like, what kind of official store is this, right? It's like garbage. And it looked like all the old styles, So whoever does the merchandising or manages the merchandising account for Lazada and Under Armour need to step up your game. Anyway, I looked on Zalora as well, and there was a few more, and I feel like I can trust Zalora that it's going to be legit, stuff. But then, just like any consumer, right? Everybody window shops. You never buy something from the first place you find it. Do you?
Absolutely.
No. Yeah.
No.
There's actually a study on it.
Oh, what's that? Share.
There's a study on it, especially when a few years back, where the behavior would be people would go to the physical stores, they'd browse around, see what fits them, and then they go online and then they order.
That's true.
That's how the behavior changed.
That's so true, and it's happening today, right? Does that
More and
worry
more,
you,
yeah.
Justin?
Yeah. Some people tell me that my items are already in their cart, but they're not buying yet, or they're not ready yet, or they comment on my Instagram like one time and then they purchase it like 3 weeks later or a month later. But I've also based from the webinars I've attended before, that people do buy from you, especially when they see your ads like 5 to 6 times. They need to see your ads 5 to 6 times
Bingo.
before you buy.
Yeah, because that gives them a sense of security, I guess, where they know that the business has a solid foundation. It's continuously popping up in their feed, right? And then they get attracted to it, and then finally they buy it, which is good.
Yeah, and they try it, and if it's a good experience, they'll put you on your favorites, right?
Exactly. I think that's one of the ways how the pandemic changed buying behavior. Obviously, a lot of people are putting focus on their cash flow, but saying that, and that's why it takes them a while to purchase items. But when they do and they like something, I believe that they would normally just purchase it over and over again.
Yeah,
they
I
become
agree.
very important.
I think there's going to be a ton of new brands popping up because a lot of the traditional brands are still hard to find. Now, I will hand it to Under Armour. So I went to Facebook, I went to Lazada, I went to Zalora, and then I did more comparison shopping. And I'm sorry if you guys think I'm cheap, but I'm just like any other consumer. I want value, right? I'm going to select and I'm going to compare who has the right amount of choice that fits my ideal style at a price point that I'm willing to pay, right? And so lo and behold, I then go to Google and I search Under Armour men's activewear. I wanted to see what would pop up, to see if there's any other, because Under Armour sells in many, many traditional outlets. And I was curious on who was online selling their products. And I didn't find a whole lot, but I did find that Under Armour had a Philippine site. And they had, of course, again, put yourself in a consumer's shoes. They had the best assortment, right? The best options. And they had this sale. Now, during this week, this was a couple weeks ago, I guess there was a sale going on, Cinco de Mayo, right, and other kinds of sales and stuff like that. And I ended up buying there because why? It was slightly, I don't know, I don't really know if it was cheaper, but it was maybe a little bit less, probably more negligible, probably about the same. But I went there because I had, number one, trust, right? I was like, if I order
brand or trust in the distribution channel.
Well, first I did check out where they were in the Philippines, right? Because I didn't want to submit my order and then it come from a different country or get down to the shipping and then get charged out the wazoo for shipping, right?
Yeah.
But I ended up ordering because I knew that if I was going to order a medium for a premium priced product, that when I got it and when I picked it up, it was going to be a medium that fit me, right? It wasn't going to be a medium that felt like an extra small.
Yeah.
There's somewhere like that.
Yeah, you know what? Crazy thing is, all the products from that Under Armour Philippines site were actually shipped from Singapore.
Wow. All right. That's interesting.
And even though it came from and was shipped from Singapore, I swear I got it in about 4 or 5 days. And I thought, that's damn good.
Yeah.
Right?
That's actually interesting because you would expect that it would come from Under Armour Philippines, right? So
the site had an Under Armour like ph.com, or I don't know if anybody else watching has ordered from the same site, but it was definitely, they presented themselves as Philippines. I paid in Philippine pesos.
Yeah.
Right. So for sure.
I'm actually a big Under Armour fan. Been wearing it even before Any Given Sunday came out.
Dude, go on there online. They got some great stuff, man. And yeah, because it's so hot and it kind of looks decent enough that it's definitely a step above wearing pajamas, right, on an online meeting. But you don't have to dress up too much, and because I'll try to sneak in a workout in between meetings or something. Dude, anyway, I'm all for the activewear category. Big props.
And if there's anybody out there in the Prosper Nation who's doing activewear, athleisure wear, please let us know. Like, yeah, I'm a big fan too.
Comment your shops on the comments.
Yeah. I think with guys, it's really more of we have to make sure it's like dry fit. But the thing is, dry fit is the material. So if there are any companies, businesses out there that uses dry fit material, let us know. Let us be part of Prosper Nation and help us help you increase your business and your growth.
That's true.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, any of those athlete, how do you say it? Athlete leisure.
Activewear.
Yeah,
athleisure.
Or activewear.
You got good English, Justin.
Thank you.
You should spread that. Prosper Nation, have you ever heard Dennis's Texan accent?
What's up, y'all? Hey, one of these shows I'm going to bring my cowboy boots if I still have some. I used to have 6
cowboy hat.
Yeah. All right. That's actually that's some pretty good jibber jabber there about the SME, athleisure wear, and just change in consumer behavior these days. I mean, those are all things that that are happening, that are real life. I mean, we're all in the middle and thick of it. Let's go ahead and dive head first and hit some of what we see that are the biggest mistakes that Philippine MSMEs are making?
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Game.
Yeah. So, Fro, first time on the show, not a first time to the topic. Throw out your opinion. What would be your top thing that when you see it happening, you're like, oh, why? Throw it out there. Spill the beans.
Okay, so when it comes to business, and especially first-time entrepreneurs, for me, their biggest challenge really is overthinking.
Oh, really?
It's overthinking, over-researching, over-analyzing. That's really, for me, the number one challenge of first-time or would-be entrepreneurs. I don't know. I've seen this meme multiple times in IG and in Facebook, where real entrepreneurs will just jump off a cliff and figure out how to put their plane or their parachute together along the way, right?
That's true.
So for me, that's really the biggest challenge and mistake that would be in first-time entrepreneurs would do, is really overthinking, overanalyzing. Because for me, I always say that the what differentiates an entrepreneur is their capability to just jump and dive into things, right?
And then all of a sudden, before they kill themselves, survive and make
and they
something out of
figure
it.
it out along the way. Yeah, absolutely. And because entrepreneurs, business people, especially the successful ones, it all starts. I mean, everything starts with an idea, and it's fueled by their passion. You've heard the success stories of Bezos, Bezos, Steve Jobs, the Google guys, right?
Even
They
Elon
didn't
Musk.
know what they were doing, like 100%. But this is
No.
actually very true for mid-sized and small entrepreneurs as well. Let me tell you a story.
Holy shit.
Pampanga.
Before you say the story, hold on a second.
Okay.
I mean, we could go ahead and almost end the show, because that is absolutely the number one huge mistake. I just want to
That's
emphasize
true.
what you said. I mean, trying to over nitpick every single detail will hold you back. Time, it'll stand in the way of you accelerating. It'll stand in the way of you making money. Because if you're in it for the long haul, you will be up to bat again every day, hopefully 100 times a day.
Absolutely.
But I do have a
And-
question.
What's your question,
Because-
Justin?
Because people usually, like, I've seen this also in many videos and many webinars that I've attended, like they always recommend you to make a business plan before doing like before starting a business. So how
Yeah.
do you like balance between, preparing that much and overthinking it?
Dennis, do you want to answer
Great.
that question? Or
Great question.
It's a great question.
I'll tell you just from my personal experience, and I'm going to go ahead and expose myself, but the 3 startups that I've created just in the recent few years never had a business plan. Not a formal business plan that you would think of in writing or that they teach you in school, in business school. Never had it. You look, I'm sorry, right? Sorry to disappoint people.
Yeah.
If you look for a formal business plan on Prosperna in our Google Drive, you won't find one. Now, that doesn't mean we don't have a plan.
You're
All that means
exposing us.
is
We have a plan.
we have a plan. It's number one. It's fucking. Oh, excuse me. It's help your customers. How's that for a business plan?
True.
That's where it starts.
Yeah.
But anyway, before I take over on that, Fro, dude, I want to hear that. I want to hear what you were going to say on that.
Okay, so again, the Justine's question was, from what she's learned from the conferences and webinars that she attended is to have a business plan before starting your business. For me, your starting a business is not dependent on your business plan. It's dependent on your idea, your passion. That's the two main things. And when it comes to creating a business plan, I would agree where you could make a fundamental business plan. It doesn't have to be like something that you have to submit in school, right?
Yeah.
Hindi mo naman kailangan yan eh. Pero ang importante lang is you have to understand what's your product, ano price mo, ano yung potential customer mo, saan mo ibebenta, right? And start from there. Tapos, and then ano yung initial expenses. But even the expenses, to be honest, for me, as long as you put in what your product is, what your price point is, and what your market is. And my cousin always tells me that if you have a goal, put a number into it, right? And then work back.
Yeah,
And
that's as simple as it should be. That's why, I mean, when you say business plan, Justine, it doesn't have to be a formal document and encyclopedia and financial analysis, right?
Yeah.
Honestly, when we were starting, whether I actually had a couple runs in the food and beverage industry, right? It's very simple math. I mean, it's a table napkin business plan.
I've
Right?
done those table napkins business plans, man.
Because
I'll tell you, one of the businesses I had, you guys, some people hear this. They used to hear this more when we were in the traditional world of the Philippines, where we'd all be stuck in traffic and they would get stuck listening to my stories, right? But now we're stuck online listening to my stories. So there was a time when I got laid off from a tech company, and we were high flying, $250 a share, and then went through a huge economic crisis, and the stock plummeted. The company ended up getting delisted, 7 rounds of layoffs. And
2007?
What's that? Yeah. And I had just bought, a house, and I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? And I won't spend all, our time on these gory details, but, I, went from a high flying, high paying software tech executive job. And I opened up a hot dog cart on the parking lot of
Nice.
a Home Depot.
Nice.
And
It was in a soubrette, right?
it wasn't even a franchise. I'll tell you my
Nice.
secret. This is exactly what I did. Here's my business plan, Justin. Because I had bought that house, I had a passion for being around the home building stuff, right? Just doing stuff around the house. And being a very inquisitive guy, I noticed, why is there a hot dog stand in front of every freaking Home Depot? And I was like, they've got to be making money. So I sat there in the parking lot and just observed. And my business plan was to count how many people lined up buying the freaking hot dogs, buying the jumbo lemonade, right? And spending $5 to $7, right? Because I could see the price, obviously, right? And then I go across the street, right, to the Costco, and I find out, okay, how much does a hot dog cost?
Really cheap in Costco.
How much does the bread cost? How much does a lemonade? Lemonade costs less than 5 cents. because you buy the powder lemonade, right?
Don't forget the
And you
mustard.
Yeah.
sell it. Yeah, you sell a jumbo lemonade for $1.50, right? And then I'm like, oh my god, these hot dog stands are making a killing. That's my business plan.
Nice.
And then I
Mm.
go out and I freaking called every Home Depot in the Dallas Fort Worth area. And lo and behold, all 99% of them already had a hot dog stand, right?
That's a great
Until
story.
yeah, and I almost hung up. I almost stopped calling. And at the end of the day, I said, okay, I'm going to call this one more location. And I asked for the general manager. And the general manager said, wow, this must be your lucky day. The hot dog guy hasn't shown up for a week. So if you have a food and beverage license and show up this weekend, and as long as you promise to give all of my employees a 50% discount, the space is yours. And I didn't
Boom,
even have to
baby.
pay. I didn't even have to pay rent.
Nice.
Super cool.
But here's my insights on Dennis's story. Right? Yes. When it comes to business plan, Dennis shared with us his journey with the whole hot dog stand. And but point one, he did his research. Point two, he figured out where to get his inventory. But point three, and most importantly, is he found a good location and a good target market. Why? Who goes to Home Depot? Men. Right? Who eats hot dogs? Men. So it was an easy fit. And that's why Dennis shared with us like a lot of the Home Depots he went to already had hot dog stands. That meant that there was a market for it, right? So
Mm.
yeah, as part of building your business plan, those are the things that you initially had to think about, but you don't have to deep dive into it right away. Kasi kahit sa akin, and I've spoken to a lot of mga successful entrepreneurs in their own right. Again, it started with their passion and their idea, and they just started doing it. They went with the basics, product, service, price point, market, benta. But along the way,
Mm.
especially since they're getting bigger, and this would be helpful for you also, Justine, no? At a certain time, that's when you start to maybe learn more, right? Adjust
Yeah.
your right, and that's where you create a little bit more extensive business plan, right? But it can
Okay.
be done pero pwede siya gawin in phases, di ba?
Mm. Okay. I actually have a interesting story with that, but before we go to that, let us just take a 5 minute break, a short break, and then we'll be back for more.
Sure.
Awesome. Be
Hello, I'm
back.
Ari Halas from BirdieMaria.com, greeting you from the foot of Maria Makiling in Los Baños. And since we're from Los Baños, we'd like to share with you our plants. So, also on our website, we have pots like this, painted pot. Also have a baby Groot, looks like kind of cute. And also we have leather planters out there on our website. So, and since we're not just a nature city, we're also a science city. We also sell some science products like this one, a biopesticide, and our flagship product, Vital N, which is a biofertilizer, and it converts the air that we breathe into fertilizers for our plants right here. So just visit our website. That's birdemaria.com. You can take a screenshot of this video, and the QR code will bring you to our website, and you can get 10% off on our Vital N by using this promo code Vital-N10 when you check out. You get 10% off. Okay, thank you, and we hope to see you on our website. That's birdemaria.com. Thank you and bye.
Hi, I'm Arnie from Sage Online, and we would love you to try our website. At Sage Online, we help people with their groceries. They just order on our website and we get to deliver in Butuan City, safe and hassle-free. So order now and visit us at stageonline.com.
And we're back once again. But before we start, let me just thank our Prosper Nation customers that gave their video. For the plantitas and the plantitos, Verde Maria, Sage Online, and if you're looking for authentic leather boots, we have the Boot Artillery. And also, let me just read the comments that we have. So Ari said, the only business plan I wrote for my business was for a 100,000 grant for DOST. Freaking 25 pages for peanuts. Wow. The effort. What kind of
Oh my
peanuts were
God.
those, Ari? And
Dude,
then,
Ari, that's
So, is
hilarious.
that Ari?
yes, it's
Yeah.
Ari. Hi, welcome back, Ari.
Ari, that 25 pages, it's a good experience. It sets you in the right track, right? And hopefully you got that grant.
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
And
but you know what? Just to play devil's advocate, how much time did that take away from spending time marketing and selling to customers who are already buying?
Yeah.
I'm just
that's
saying.
true.
I'm just saying. There's definitely something to learn in the 25 pages, right? But you have to ask yourself, if you're going to really execute, where is your time better spent? Filling out paperwork, right? Trying to figure out if the image on your page, your Facebook page, your Instagram, your website, trying to figure out if that is 1,000% perfect, or if it's out there marketing, building your brand. Which one do you get most value, right?
True.
Just saying.
That's true.
But
That's
yeah,
true.
And then,
Verde Manila. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, go ahead. Good. Birdie Manila.
No, Verde Maria, right? Sage Online, right? And Boot Artillery. We got to get them all on the show, right?
Oh, for sure.
And,
for sure.
the love to hear their story, and also we'll be testing out some of their products, right? So that's the fun part.
Yeah.
For me, boot.
Hopefully another mukbang.
Because I love boot.
Because actually I just in relation to the business plan, I remember I felt really guilty because I had this free business template plan that I got from a webinar. It's like, but it was so confusing for me because it already had a cost of acquisition of customer, economies of scale, and stuff like that. That in my level, like I didn't really understand any of it, and they were already asking about the positions that will be taken in the company when I was just a one man show. And I didn't really feel that out because I felt that it was too early for me. But it was always in the back of my head, like, why didn't I feel that business plan out? Or would I be successful if I know the customer lifetime value or the cost of acquisition of things or the economies of scale? Like, it's always on the back of my head, actually.
Let me tell you this, Justine. Ganito yan eh. You got that business plan model, right? And yung nakuha mo siya, it was very very definitive, in depth, dami ka lang isipin, and some of those economies of sale, cost
Cost
acquisition.
of customer acquisition. Customer lifetime value.
You're right. At there, as a businessman, as an entrepreneur, may ano yan eh, may different levels yan eh. Right? And like sinasabi nga ni Dennis palagi, if you want to start a business, then start the business and get your product out, sell, market. Get the money in, right? And then along the way, you'll tweak things. And then that type of business plan, that's for a higher level of that's for an advanced stage of your business life already. So I would love to see you actually do that entire business model maybe 2 years down the line, right? Right. But at this point, yeah, a lot of those information hindi nyo pa kailangan, diba? Pero as you go along the way, you ma-figure out yan.
True.
Yeah, right at the right time when it
Yeah.
serves the right purpose. But talking to customers and building your brand is more important than anything. And anyway, let's just say it one more time on this number one mistake is just analysis by paralysis, thinking
Absolutely.
too much.
Over-researching.
Details are important, but execution first. Execution first. Nothing else matters. Nothing else, right?
True.
So, oh my God, I see that every day, and it freaking kills me, right? And a lot of SMEs complain about, oh, what about this? Oh, what about that? Oh, paano to? Oh, bakit ganyan? You know, I don't know if I'm saying my Tagalog right, but I mean that's exactly how it comes across, and it's like, you know, and it's killing my brain, you know, and I'm like, what the hell are you doing, right? Oh my God.
Actually, all the big names in businesses right now, when they started, I don't think they had that much of a business plan. Henry
I know what they were doing.
have a business plan for a mall when he started selling shoes, diba? And going back sa sabi ni Dennis, when you start a business, what's the most important thing? Sell, sell, sell. Yun lang. Right? Because if you don't sell, wala kang business.
Totoo
Nothing to
naman.
plan.
Diba? Nothing to
All right.
plan.
So what would be your number two? What's your number two kind of mistake that you see out there?
Actually, for me personally, the number two mistake is actually related to the business plan, and it's recording your financials. For me, as a numbers guy, sobrang importante to have that discipline from the get-go. Na you really track and record yung numbers mo. How much inventory that you have, magkano yung sales mo, magkano yung kita mo. And do it every month. For me, that's the second biggest mistake that entrepreneurs have, because for me, number one, ang importante dyan is the discipline, right? And that discipline allows you to understand your business wholeheartedly, if I say. And then from there, that will actually lead you to understanding the ecosystem of your business. But it starts with the discipline of recording your numbers, your cost, your sales, and yung kita mo, right?
True.
How about you, Dennis? Ano? What do you think? Do you feel that's a big mistake, or do you have another idea?
I would probably say it a little bit differently. I think you impress upon recording. I would just maybe add that. Number one, you can't improve anything that you don't measure. I just want to say that it doesn't need to be a really formal way of recording, a formal way of handling your financials, because honestly, most business owners aren't numbers people. They are not finance and accounting experts.
But you don't have to.
Yeah. Absolutely, you don't have to be. I just wanted to round out what you said so that people don't take it to the extreme.
Correct.
Of, oh gosh, like Justin was saying, I don't know what cost of acquisition is. I don't know what customer lifetime value is. I mean, you have to look at, if you're going to record, number one, let me just restate that, right? You have to measure something, because you can't improve what you cannot measure, right?
Absolutely.
Now, the question begs, what should you measure? And that's what you will change as you were saying, depending on the maturity and the stage of your business. So
Correct.
what I look for is measuring in very, very simple ways what I call leading indicators of success, right? At this stage of the business, there are certain numbers, specific numbers, because there's a whole lot of numbers that you can record, right? But if I spend my time recording all 999 of them, it's taking me away from focusing on the customers, right?
Sure.
So of that list of 999 at this stage, I ask myself, what should we be measuring that will tell us that between now and the next 30 days, have we been successful or not?
And what's those leading indicators for you?
Man, you're trying to put me on the spot, bro. This guy, Justin, he just, I was just gonna skate by, right? So, when it comes to, let me put this in the light, because yes, we're gonna outline the mistakes, right? And then we're gonna give people the solution on how to help, right? So, from a digital standpoint, right? If you relate your traditional foot traffic, right? Because the foot traffic will convert to potential retail traditional sales. True?
True.
Right? So the equivalent in digital to foot traffic is website traffic if you have an online store. The equivalent to foot traffic if you just have a social media presence is views, likes, right? That's foot traffic, right? And so that is a leading indicator. People think that, oh, may Instagram account na ako. Oh, siguro mamaya magbo-boom yan. Right? No. Instagram doesn't give a shit about your product, right? They're not going to say, oh, ang ganda ng product yan. Let's give them the most website visits or traffic or likes. They don't do that.
Push them.
Right? It's up to you to get the traffic.
Yeah.
Right?
For me, I'll simplify it a little bit more.
Take it down. Take it down, brother Fro.
So again, you have different life phases of your business, right? When you're just starting out, like what Dennis says, key indicators. And that the number one key indicator is sales. If your sales are not improving, if your sales are going down, what are you doing wrong? Right? What are you lacking? What's the challenge? Pag-isipan nyo. And then figure it out and improve it. Right? So for me, at that early stage, it's your sales, and then yung cost mo, and then yung kita, your revenue at the end of the day or at the end of the month.
Ako personally, like, ang nire-record ko lang ngayon at my stage, like, first of all is yung mga sales ko kung saan nanggagaling. It is a Shopee. I mean, this is for small business. Sa Shopee, sa social media, ay sa daily orders ko, which are from my social media, or sa resellers ko. Like, the three channels. And then from there, the cost of goods, your COGS. And then, iba pa yung expenses mo ng daily, and then iba pa yung overall expenses mo. Like, if you invest in marketing, like me, I do Facebook and Shopee ads. So, I think yun pa. And then I think at the end also, it's not only the quantitative, but you also have, as a small business, you also have to take note of the qualitative. Ako nire-record ko ilan yung shorts na nasold ko, ilan yung sports bra na nasold ko. And then sa ilalim, you can do this, like, you can put, even for if it's just for yourself, recommendations and your observations of what you did that month, that work, what you can improve. And then yung insights na na-gain mo from all the things that you did that last month, yun yung tatlong dinagdag ko extra sa daily, sa monthly, parang monthly recording ko, para at least I'm not only improving when it comes to my sale, but also yung quality ng business ko is nag-i-improve din.
Nice. Actually, Prosper Nation, yung shinare ni Justine is actually very important. But let me reframe it, right? Kasi at the end of the day, Justine, you also take into consideration yung cost mo, pati yung sales mo, di ba? And then, you think about your distribution channels, right?
True.
Resellers, Facebook, Instagram, and then Shopee, and then after that, yung qualitative, yung mga notes mo sa sarili mo, right? How can you improve, your recommendations to yourself. And to be honest, as a first year, as a businesswoman who's about to go on your first year, you're actually very, advanced na on your way of thinking, right?
Yeah, but
And
because she's executing.
Exactly.
She's not thinking too much. She's like, get this shit out there. I guarantee you, we look at Justin's page. It's not perfect. It's probably really nice, right? Yeah. But I'm sure there's some misspellings. I'm sure, it's like...
Yeah.
Grammar Nazi in the house.
Yeah.
Pero tama kasi, pero yung going back to sinabi ni Dennis Prosper Nation na key indicators. So, I think for Justin, yung key indicators niya was after sales and cost, number 2 is yung distribution channels. Right? Where do you sell, diba? And how do you sell? And then after yung how you improve. How can you improve?
And be honest with yourself, Prosper Nation. Like, there are times na ayokong record sa sarili ko dahil alam kong that month mababa ako. Pero I take it, I face that reality kasi you're not gonna grow if you're not gonna face the ups and downs of your business.
Oh, huge.
Yeah, that's true. That's a very, very good insight. Kasi pag negosyante ka, everybody is enamored with the idea of being an entrepreneur. Kasi, as an entrepreneur, ang iniisip naman tao, you have your own time, laki ng kinikita mo, right? Freedom. Pero ang totoo niyan, pag negosyante ka, you're actually working 18 hours a day for the first 2 years of your life, right? You don't have that freedom of time. You don't have that financial leverage. Wala lahat yan. Pero once you hit that mark, and they always say, diba, na most businesses fail. 80% of businesses fail within the first 2 years. Palaging sinasabi yun, you've seen it around. Pero here's the clincher. Those who survived that first 2 years, that's when you see the trajectory. Because in those 2 years, outside surviving, you've understood your market, you've understood your product, you've understood your financials. It's a process, it's a journey. Pero ang pinaka-importante dyan is the grind. Doing the things that you don't want to do. And more often than not, it's the simple stuff. Right? Recording your financials, creating posters or to get your brand out, talking to people. It's the daily grind that people don't see that successful people do on a regular basis. Yeah.
It's a small things that add up.
Yep.
Oh, so, you're bringing back some memories, or nightmares. It's not as easy as people think. They always think of, overnight success.
It's romanticized.
Yeah, all the glory, all the glitz and glamour, and to that end, I think people should also take a look at who they're working with, right?
Yeah.
It's who has the ability to stand with you in the long term, because like you said, again, I'm sorry, Prosper Nation, but you should go ahead and expect not to make money in the beginning. You should go ahead and expect not to be able to spend time with your family, friends, and loved ones if you really want to succeed. Now, what should you do? You should look for people and partners who have that shared passion, because that passion will outlast the hard times and will let you push through, barrel through, run through the brick walls of that 1 and 2 year barrier. Because
Absolutely.
that's what it will take.
That's the
right?
hack.
Yeah. It's got to be a marathon point of view. So people looking for shortcuts, people looking for, overnight success. I'm sorry. There's not, I don't know of any. People see the successes, but when they do their homework, they go, holy shit, this company's been around for 10 to 15 years. And the first, 60% of their life, they struggle.
Yep.
Right. So without that passion, without that mission, you're already almost destined to give up.
Yeah, that's
Absolutely.
true.
That's where the
Passion is
grit comes in. I think
Yeah.
that's
Okay, so
go ahead, Jesse. Sorry.
no, I was actually gonna ask kung ano yung third mistake nyo.
Yeah, I think we have time for one more big mistake, right? What's the
Yeah.
one more big mistake that you see, Fro bro?
For me, it's really I think you mentioned it earlier. It's looking for the right partners and mentors to hack your growth. It's not about doing shortcuts, but here's what I realized. No? Number one, people who have succeeded, especially business people, they're willing to share their experiences, right? They're willing to tell you their story and they're willing to help you out, right? So, and number two is, you're focused too much on micromanaging and doing everything on your own that you fail to see na there are people or there are companies that you can partner with that can actually help you hack your growth, right? Especially now, right? It's a pandemic. Pucha, paano ako magbibenta nito? Right? And then you do Facebook, you do IG, you see all the YouTube ads. And I'll be honest, traditional selling is not that effective anymore. That's why there's a lot of Bible groups, there's a lot of, so you look for a partner. Prosperna is a good partner because it helps you get your business online. It gets you to that space na, because I'll be honest, Prosper Nation, I'm not that much of a techie, right? There were times that Dennis wants to slap me in my batok.
Ano mga question mo?
No, but saying that, especially right now with the current situation, you have to be digital. You have to be online. So you look for the best partner that can help you go online. And Prosperna is on the top of the list, right? Outside that, learn. Don't forget. Don't hesitate to look for mentors. Don't hesitate to ask for advice, right? And most importantly, don't hesitate. Don't be afraid to fail, because failing is also part of it. But because of reaching out to people, reaching out to mentors, and partnering with the right people, then your possibility of failure will be lower. Will that mean na hindi ka na mag-fail? Of course not. Everybody fails. But you fail forward.
Yeah.
From it.
I like how you say that, man. I like how you say that.
It's true.
Well, you can't have success without failure. right?
Absolutely.
Now, if you can learn that failure before it happens from someone else, then you're 2 times more likely to succeed,
Absolutely.
right?
That's true.
And if you're going out there on your own in the technical journey and you don't have a mentor that can help you watch out for the potential mistakes, right? And you're afraid to fail because you're paying attention to too many of the details that don't make a matter of a fucking difference to your leading indicators, then that's another reason why you're going to fail, right?
Yeah.
Then I'm sorry, you're probably just it's going to be a long, difficult path, right? Whenever I hear or see folks complaining too much about this failure or this didn't work or that didn't work or this employee wasn't able to do this or this freelancer or this digital marketing agency wasn't able to do this or this software didn't work or whatnot, and it was the one first set of mistakes, and then they throw the digital marketing partner or the employee out and kick them out the door, then that just tells me behaviorally that you're looking for overnight success. And I'm sorry, people, you're wrong.
It's true.
Yeah.
Those are symptoms of overnight success. They are symptoms that you've been doing it wrong and you're holding on to your very last breath.
Yep.
Because you didn't take action, because you didn't focus on marketing, because you didn't focus on your branding, because you weren't afraid to fail. It's because you were too desperate that you needed that deal or business right now.
Yeah.
Mm.
And
Okay.
I'm sorry, you were destined to fail before you even started.
Be desperate enough that you want to succeed, but don't be desperate that you sacrifice your values, your brand, your product, your service. Diba?
That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
If
So-
you're playing for the long term. Well,
And
There
actually,
you go.
Yeah, exactly. Sa akin sinabi ni Justin, you have to be there for the long term.
true. So actually, before we wrap up,
Wait. Just to keep drawing on that. That was a very good point, Justin. I mean, what company? Everybody pays attention to the successful companies. What successful long-term company has not made any mistakes?
it's true.
Apple made mistakes.
Well, yeah, their CEO was ousted.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Steve Jobs,
And
yeah.
they're arguably one of the top 3 most admired companies of our generation.
Absolutely. Right?
It's true.
A lot of for me kasi like sabi ni Dennis, we see a lot of the successful stories. We see a lot of big business people, big companies. Pero before they got there, they made a lot of mistakes. They were there
That's
for
true.
the long run. And they had the
That's
grit
true.
and the drive to get back into it, learn from their mistakes, look for people to help them out, right?
That's
And that's part of the journey.
So wait a
That's
minute.
true.
Along this line of learning, getting help, mentors, and coaches, I'm sure this is where Justin was going. There's a great question from
Yeah.
all of you out there in the Prosper Nation. Justin, what's the question?
He asked, what do you think of paying a business coach or an online guru?
Depends. At what stage of the business are you? For me, do it on your own first. Learn about yourself and your business first before you get any guru, right?
Pay.
There's this really, really old joke na consultants are paid to tell you exactly what you already know.
Hala. Baka may nanonood na paid na consultant.
Well, wait a minute. Yes, Fro, that I like the part that I like about what you said was that what I forgot what you said.
Was it about the depends on your business phase? You have to learn your business first before getting a guru.
No. It was about try to do it yourself first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Try to do it yourself first, because then you know what kind of intelligent questions with context,
Correct.
if and when you find the right guru or consultant or coach. Right?
Yeah.
Let me take a crack, if you don't mind, at answering that. I mean, those are all good things to think about, Fro. But so certain things, I think you need to identify, like how important and how specialized is it that you are trying to understand, right? So clearly, legal, right? Clearly, tax things in that scenario, it's very good to pay. And
Correct.
yes, you get what you pay for,
Yeah.
right? Because time is money,
Absolutely.
right? So in those cases, I think for sure. Now let's take a look at it, since we're talking about technology and digital. Should you pay a digital guru, an SEO consultant, digital agency? I would still say yes, right?
Yeah.
I would say, though, try and do it yourself,
Yep.
because then you will know if they are good or not.
Yes.
True.
And
That's true.
yeah, and if they better be able to deliver and use your own results as a benchmark better than you,
Exactly.
because you're paying someone to do it better, do it faster, do it more efficiently from you. Otherwise, if you try to do it yourself for way too long, you're holding yourself back and your business.
Correct.
That's
I
true.
agree.
That's
For me,
true.
it's like what my good friend always says. No, you have to master your world, and part of mastering your world is understanding each and every facet of your business. Now, tama naman si Dennis. You don't have to understand everything, like in depth of everything, and then that's when you seek advice or seek
Yeah.
a guru, right?
And that's also why some of the best companies succeed, is because they have the best people around them.
Correct. But it starts
Whether
from
they
you.
are consultants, whether they are partners, whether they are technology platforms, whether they are your team, your employees.
Correct.
Yeah.
Because
There's
for
some
me,
principle. There's some principle, and it's part of the only way I can remember is like that joke, right? Of, you never want to be the tallest midget, right? Or you never want to be the smartest guy in the room, right?
Yeah, I believe
If
that.
you're working at a company, if you are a CEO and you are the smartest person in your company, you're not going to grow fast enough. You're not going to grow as efficient enough, and you won't reach the levels of success that you will need. And you look at that also, not just internally within your four walls, you should look at that externally outside of your four walls.
exactly.
True.
That can actually be that's actually a challenge or a mistake that a lot of business people get to as they advance in their business life. No, they're so close to the to their business that they don't adjust, they don't get other information, right? They don't have a step
Wow.
back. So because of that, it's
Totoo.
hard for them to pivot or to take advantage of
Totoo.
trends that are actually helpful, di ba? Maraming
It's
ganun.
because their freaking ego gets in the way, and
Exactly.
they think they know more than everybody else.
Exactly.
So,
I'm sorry, that's just the cold-hearted truth.
yeah. Leave your ego at the door.
Cold hard truth.
Yeah. Well,
See,
actually, Ari mentioned here na no, you pay consultants so that you can have someone to blame when things fuck up.
uh,
Ari,
I
go.
replied to
Wala.
Ari, I replied to you.
I can't wait to have Ari on the show, man. I
Yeah.
want to see
Yeah,
what he really has to say.
But like actually, just a quick story, like before we wrap up. The way I started my business, I actually attended so many webinars, so many business seminars that minsan sumasakit na yung ulo ko kasi na-overload na ako sa information. Like may notebook ako na
TMI.
sinulat ko lahat ng natutunan ko with that business seminar. But it's also good when you start to learn on your own muna kasi you know which one to take na that's good for your business and that's not good for your business. Kasi from there, I learned kung ano yung pwede kong i-apply, kung ano yung pwede kong i-ignore, and kung ano yung pwede kong improve pa. But at the end of the day, Dennis and Fro are also right when you need help. Kasi ako, like, eventually, I realized na there are still some things, even if I gather so many knowledge that people about. That's why I also started signing up for that free consultation, free mentorship. So that, kasi, like they said, like you have to have that ego. You have to be humble enough to know na it's not always even if you're attached to your business, it's not always going to be perfect, and you have to some things to improve on.
Tama,
So at
tama.
least from that small business perspective side.
Tama, tama. Sabi nga ni Kendrick Lamar, di ba? Be humble.
Wow. Very hip talaga to see from.
But yeah, I mean, for me, so Prosper Nation, three things from what we discussed tonight. Number one,
Yeah.
mistake would be overthinking, overanalyzing. If you want to be in business, get into the business. If you have an idea, if you have a product, if you have a service that you think that will sell, that will work, just do it. Like the great Nike said, just do it, right? And then learn along the way, right? Because until you jump and get yourself out there and be in the market and do the grind of the selling and the marketing, then until you do that, you don't have a business. It's when you do that, then you actually have a business, right? So number two, the second biggest mistake is not having that discipline of recording your sales and your costs and your profit, but adding to it what Dennis said, right? Understand what your key indicators are, right? And it changes and it actually grows as you advance in your business stage, right? Like what Justine said, at her young stage, part of her indicators is already understanding her resellers, her distribution channels, which is actually good, right? But you have to understand what are your key indicators from the get go, because if it's not measured, then what are you doing?
Wala.
Yeah.
Right? And the third one is, it's looking for people that can help you hack your growth. Looking for mentors, looking for key partners. I always had this saying way back in college: focus on what you're good at, outsource everything else.
Dude, there
uh,
you go.
right?
That's
So,
golden, man. That's golden.
and you partner with people that can help you hack your growth. But before you do that, you have to understand your you have to master your world first. You have to have at least an idea kung ano yung playground na linalaruan mo, 'di ba? Kasi if you just talk to people or if you take a consultant, then the challenge would be they'll just tell you what to do. But is that the right thing for you? Right?
Well,
You're a funny guy, Fro. Good points.
True,
And you
true,
say it with a smile, man. I like that about you.
true,
And what do you think,
true.
Justin? We have
Well, I
go back on the show one day next year.
yeah, I'm. You're now the host and I'm the guest.
No, good stuff, man. Good stuff.
Yeah,
Straight from the Prosper Nation heart. Absolutely
true.
right on in terms of real life. Justin, bring us home. Where are we at?
Okay. This was a passionate conversation, and I hope that all of us learned a lot. But for now, that's all the time we've had. But catch us next week for another episode of Digital Happy Hour. And if you have any more comments or you want to promote your business, please feel free to just comment it down below so other people can see it. Okay, thank you, Prosper Nation.
Cheers.
Go Prosper Nation.
Go Prosper Nation.